Hi from sunny California. I'm here in LA on holiday for the summer and still keeping up with my work. So this is why I'm outside enjoying the sunshine in this local park and making my video for this week. As I said I would, try and get out a bit more and do my videos. So here's the first one outside and hopefully the first of many while I'm away. So this week's video is on people's dependency and use of cardiovascular equipment in an attempt to lose weight, change their body, and how I really don't believe that is either effective the majority of the time and really that healthy as well. Incidentally, this video and article that goes with it was inspired by last week's video and article, which I will post a link to in the comment box below for last week's video if you haven't already seen that, when I was talking about the use of free weights over resistance machines. And as I was writing the article first, I kind of realised that there are many people who don't engage in any resistance training at all. So it's not even a case of getting off resistance machines and taking up free weight exercises. It's about getting people to acknowledge the benefits of resistance training in the first place over cardiovascular exercise if you're looking to lose weight and change your body shape. So this video is for you guys. You know, people aren't getting the results sticking with these cardiovascular pieces in the gym, but yet they keep doing the same thing. Now something needs to change in order for you to get the results you're really looking for, and this is what this video is all about. I see two main types of people that use cardiovascular pieces of equipment in the gym. The first is the person who loves cardiovascular training, whether it's one or several different exercises. They want to get better at something, they want to challenge themselves, push themselves. So they're not really looking to lose weight, they want to excel in whatever it is they're doing. So whether it's running for longer, for further, cycling faster, rowing for further, whatever it might be, there's a goal and an objective. Or they just might simply like to zone out, jump on a treadmill and, you know, take their mind off the stresses of life, work, whatever it might be. This video, this article that I've written really isn't for those people. I'm about weight loss exposure. That's what I'm here to do. So this video is specifically for the second type of person, which I've identified already, the person that believes that cardiovascular exercise, almost exclusively, if not exclusively, is the way to lose weight. They might not even necessarily enjoy it. From my experience, they don't. They see it as a necessity that, you know, needs must. So if they do this, then the results will come. And I'm here to say there is a better way, a more effective way. In my experience, through the clients I've trained over the years, a more enjoyable way and a healthier way to get the results you're looking for, and that's through weight training, resistance-based training, free weight training in particular. This has many advantages over the cardio route. I think the biggest one, well, if we go systemically, looking at it point by point, a cardiovascular piece of equipment, you might burn whatever X amount of calories for the length of time you're on there. For the same period of time that you work with resistance weights, whether it's, I'd imagine it'd be multiple exercises over the same course of time, you will absolutely burn more calories in that same length of time than you would on any cardiovascular piece of equipment. And the reason for that is, when you're working with weights, you're targeting the muscles in particular, and you recruit more muscle fibers through the very nature of the work you're doing. And you have to think of your muscles as the engine in your body, just like with a car. The more of the engine, or the more muscles that you recruit, the more fibers in any given muscle, and the more muscles in general you recruit, then the more fuel you're going to use and burn as a result. And there's no cardiovascular exercise that can match that. Typically people use cardiovascular exercise as a moderate intensity, low to moderate intensity for endurance, so that they're working away for, you know, prolonged periods of time. There's no way that you're recruiting the same percentage of muscle fibers that you are when you're directly targeting the muscles in a resistance-based exercise. So that's the first comparison over the two. Second to that, as soon as you get off your piece of cardio equipment, near enough as soon as you get off, your elevated energy expenditure from the demands of that exercise almost immediately go back to the base level. So whatever it is your body expends on a daily basis to survive, bodily function, etc., almost goes back to that level straight away. Whereas with the resistance training that you might do, that increased level of expenditure that I mentioned already, being greater than it would be for cardio anyway, is maintained for several hours after. And again, that goes back to the very nature of how you're using the muscles. You're recruiting more muscles, you're actually providing a stimulus to the muscles, a stress to the muscles to which they need to recover, recuperate and adapt to. So all of those things require energy, nutrition, fuel, flushing of waste product. That requires energy. So that elevated energy expenditure is carried on through that recovery and rest and recuperation phase of those muscles. And ultimately what that will do over time, that recovery to the stressor that you put on it, will lead to adaptation in the muscle. And this is where you get your bang for your buck, so to speak. It's the adaptation in the muscle that doesn't come from cardiovascular exercise that you might be doing on equipment in the gym. That is the real key, because what happens is those muscles that get worked through weight training have to adapt to the stimulus that you're providing, through whether it's dumbbells, barbells, body weight, medicine balls, anything you can think of that's free weight based. And again, last week's video and article will explain all that in more detail. Has to adapt to that stressor so it can perform it to a greater degree. So that requires the muscle to increase in strength and size. And what that does, it essentially, as with a car that has a bigger engine, it naturally requires more fuel. And that isn't then a acute thing, that's a chronic thing. So that base level that I was talking about, that the body goes back to with cardiovascular exercise pretty much straight away, that base level, that will again go back to, as with resistance training as well, the body will go back to that as well. But over time that base level will increase with resistance training because the muscle adaptation has occurred, increased strength and size, so you require more energy just to sustain and provide those muscles with the nutrition and energy that they need. So as with a bigger engine, greater muscle size and strength utilizes more energy, becomes more energy efficient, and it's the energy efficiency and utilization that is the real key to freedom when it comes to losing weight and changing your body shape, and fundamentally and more importantly sustaining the results you've achieved. Because you know, you can get results from cardiovascular work. I'd be lying if I said that you couldn't. But as I said before, it's never really to the extent that you really want in the first place. And if by some miracle it is, it's so hard to sustain because you're chained to the stimulus of that cardiovascular piece of equipment. Without that, you have nothing. Whereas with the adaptation of the muscles that happen with weight training, that's money in the bank. You've built a body that is brand new and more efficient at burning energy, more efficient at using energy that comes in. And that is the key. That is where your weight loss freedom really comes from. And obviously, I haven't mentioned this yet, but the adaptations and the changes in muscle size and strength leads to body shape changes. And that will not happen to any real degree with the other route, because as I said, it doesn't work the muscle in the same way. Body shape changes, becoming more defined. That doesn't mean as a female, typically my female clients get a little bit apprehensive, doesn't mean you can become some bodybuilder. No, it's all relative to how you want your body to look. I so happen to like having muscle size, significant muscle size, so that's what I train my body to do. But that doesn't mean that has to be you. But the fundamental point is that resistance training, to a degree that promotes some adaptation in muscle, is absolutely imperative to your long-term success. Does that come at the cost of your cardiovascular fitness if you focus on resistance training? No, absolutely not. I always get asked at the gym, what cardio do you do to stay in such lean shape? You know, you've got low body fat. They say zero body fat, but that's clearly not true. I say I actually don't do any specific cardio training in the light that I've spoken about in this video. I don't jump on any cardio equipment. You've never seen me do it. I get my cardiovascular training through the weight training that I do. Anyone who tells you that weight training isn't cardiovascular training either doesn't know what they're talking about or isn't training effectively with weights, because I absolutely guarantee you, and I challenge anyone to do a free weight based resistance training exercise like a walking lunge and your heart rate not go through the roof. So when you add the fact that your resistance training should and would be cardio based if you're doing it the right way, you've got nothing to lose. You have a carryover of training from the gym into your everyday life. Clearly, if you want to become a better runner, if you want to excel and become a better cyclist, you're going to have to engage in those activities. But this and me and this whole channel is about weight loss, so I have to assume that that's your primary objective. And if your primary objective is losing weight, this method of weight training in replacement of cardiovascular exercise is the way to do it. That doesn't mean you can't do cardiovascular exercise, but for the purpose of weight loss, get the intensity high. Go through interval training on cardiovascular exercise if you're going to do it. Steer clear of the machines. You can do interval training for cardio's sake if you wish without machines. And this video isn't really about that. That's for another video, or perhaps for you to source from other reputable places. But you know, having said that, I don't do specific cardio interval training in itself. I get my cardio from my weight training, and that can be you. There's no reason why you need to do specific cardio whatsoever unless you want to excel in whatever that cardiovascular exercise is promoting, and that's absolutely fine. I play soccer, football, so I get my cardiovascular fitness for football through football training and football matches. You know, you've got to think about what it is you want to achieve and the carryover you want it to have into your everyday life. Because if you're thinking cardiovascular fitness as well as weight loss, as I've already said, weight loss isn't really going to happen on these cardio machines anyway, but the cardiovascular fitness that you gain from there, even holding onto that as a strand, crossover into real life is minuscule. I mean, just talking about cross trainer, for example, where does that level of aptitude and fitness that you might gain from cross trainer translate into anything that you might do in real life? You know, there are obviously some exercises where it would translate better, running for running if you're an athlete, but you know, to a large extent people aren't really doing it for that reason anyway. But I just thought I'd chuck that in. So, as I always say, if something isn't working for you, you have to explore an alternative, and this is my message to you. Get out there and get your body moving with weights, free weights. Get that body moving and you will gain everything that you really are looking for. Obviously, with the addition of the other things you need to implement into your life to really get the best results. So other stuff that I've talked about throughout my videos and the stuff that I will talk about doesn't get ignored. You know, that's imperative to get the degree of results you're looking for. But when it comes to exercise, weight training in an effective and functional and dynamic way will change your body, will help you lose the weight you're looking for. Get out there and experience it for yourself. See just what the difference can be. You know, I train clients in their homes for a living. Bar in the first year and a half in my 10 and a bit year career where I worked through a gym, that's all I've ever done is go to clients' homes. And you know, while some clients have had cardio pieces there, I've rarely used them, if at all. And the majority of clients don't have cardio pieces in their homes. So I use the kind of stuff that I'm advocating to you. Free weights, medicine balls, body weight, and they've completely revolutionised their whole body and lost the weight they're looking for through the means that I'm talking about in this video. So I'm not speaking of ideals, I'm talking through experience. That's all I ever do with you guys, and that's all I am focused on. So I hope this video has been of help. The article to this video will be posted in the comment box. It might have a bit more detail. Sometimes I miss things out in my video, so I always write the article first. So click on that link and it will take you to my website where you can perhaps learn a little bit more about this topic that I've missed in this video. I think that's about it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it, I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my afternoon and evening here in Los Angeles, the beautiful sunshine, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Thanks for watching.